What is up, my friends? It is Amongst the Whiskey back here for the blind flight that I promised. I'll be exploring the latest Four Roses limited edition. We got 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, and a single barrel strength that I personally selected from Four Roses. This is going to be a killer blind flight. I have no idea which of these glasses is which, so taste along with me, guess along with me. If you think you know what one of these is based on my notes along the way, drop a comment with the timestamp at which you're guessing, and we shall see if you can guess correctly. I might wager some guesses as I go along too. I'm going to be sipping a little Gerolsteiner sparkling water in between each glass so that I don't have any interaction glass to glass that can ultimately affect how I rank these out. So, this is going to be long, drawn out, convoluted. Stick with me. This is going to be a fun tasting. First, let me introduce the glasses that I'm going to be tasting for tracking purposes. Each of these glasses has a distinct etching on it. I will call the glass what is etched on it, but remember, these are all Four Roses pours, as you can see from the Four Roses in the background here. Okay, up first is the Amongst the Whiskey glass, of course. Let's see. Nose is quite nice, feels very well aged. Feels like a lot of oak integrated on this pour. A little bit of linen. Feels like north of 15 years, that is. Age of the whiskey that is in the glass. Yeah, this one's very light. There's just a distinct kind of breadiness to it. Tiny bit of creme brulee. It's a little bit on the dry side. Not a crazy nose. Let's taste. Okay. Solid palate, much like the nose, a little creme brulee. Definitely has that caramel characteristic underlying. It is a bit drying, as the nose was as well. Does not instantly wow me, I'll tell you that. Another sip here. Yeah, feels very old. Definitely has some kind of leathery undertones. Tons of oak. Just solid. Yeah, not overly crazy for this glass. That was the Amongst the Whiskey glass we have here. As promised, little Gerolsteiner sparkling water. This is like a squeegee for your tongue, folks. If you've never done a multi-glass tasting without having a proper palate resetter in between, you are doing yourself a disservice. Make sure you're drinking water in between your glasses. Otherwise, the aroma and flavor of the first will leach into the second, will affect how you taste the third. Plus, it helps to keep yourself sober during tastings. I know that sounds like a crazy thought, but that usually is my goal during tastings, is actually to remain sober, taste thoughtfully. So, water is a key aspect. Oh yeah, squeegee for your tongue. And for glass 2, we have Pursuit Spirits. Great brand, obviously. Appreciate them for providing me a Glencairn glass last time I hung out with Kenny. And let's see what's inside this glass. Whoa, way mustier. This is like musty oak. As soon as I put that glass to my nose, it just had this like dank wetness to it. Whew. Oh my, it almost feels over oaked. That might be the 135th anniversary, the 2023 release. Yeah, I remember not liking the nose all that much on that one. I think I gave the 2023 a 3 out of 5. This smells like that could be it. Let's taste. Okay, palate is much better than the nose, but I definitely can't ignore that nosing experience. I do rate primarily on palate, so what am I finding on the Pursuit Spirits glass? I'm finding a little bit of like a molasses, maybe some deeper wood spices like black pepper, allspice, maybe a touch of clove. Oh yeah. Another taste definitely makes me feel like this is a little over oaked. A lot of kind of leathery tones, even more than the Amongst the Whiskey glass had. Yeah, overall, I think I like this a touch less than Amongst the Whiskey, but we will revisit as we go along. Palate reset. Nice to have fresh taste buds. This one's going to make me look a little crazy, but the blank Glencairn is going to be our third pour. So the clear glass we will consider for review. For some reason this glass is a little spotted. Anyway. Shoo! Woo! We got a lot of oak on this one too, folks. And this is not surprising. I mean, these limited edition bourbons, they're being blended with like 20-year-old stocks in some cases. I know one of them had like a 25-year included. I think that was the 2023. Oh boy, the blind tasting. The blind tasting's difficult because now I'm thinking the clear glass is 2023 and the Pursuit Spirit is 2023. Either way, these two definitely have a less enjoyable nose than the Amongst the Whiskey glass. So let's continue on into a sip. Holy smokes, what's going on here? This one's like the spice cabinet. This is the kitchen spice rack right here. Whoa, a lot going on here. I like the linger a lot. This one has almost like a cardamom characteristic, some citrus undertones. I'm already getting into the beard scratching. I'm already turning to pontification as we go along here. I gotta just level set myself and just think through which I like the most. What really calls to me from a quality sense, rather than trying to pick apart some of the layers and trying to guess. I'm just going to try to enjoy these and figure out how they rank out. Let's go. And if you're not familiar with any of these releases already, I've done write-ups for most of these. I'll drop links to the 2021, 2022, 2023 write-ups that I've already done on amongstthewhiskey.com. Feel free to click through, read those, and then use that information to help you make a guess as to what I'm sipping here. We will reveal at the end. If you want spoilers, you can continue to scroll down in the description, and I will offer a key for which glass is which. If you would prefer to know as we go along, feel free to check that out. Yes, very thin. It's like the liquid falls back into this glass like instantly. This is very thin. It almost has a spoiled whiskey characteristic. It almost smells like sandalwood to me, which is just not a note that I really like. One more taste on the clear glass. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, palate really doesn't match the nose. It's odd that I'm getting that sandalwood note. Yeah, palate's quite nice. A little bit of cherry tone going on here. Some floral characteristics, nice balance of spice. Very easy, very enjoyable to sip here. I fear that might be the 2024, and I don't know why the nose is so off. We'll see. Fourth glass in the lineup will be my Bourbondipity glass. That's my buddy Derek. I've had this glass for a long time. He's my fellow Mass Bourbon Alliance founder. Let's see how the whiskey in his glass is doing. Oh, wait, palate reset. Can't forget the palate reset. Weird. All of these are kind of doing a little musty smell. Okay, this one blew off faster. Maybe it's some influence from the other glasses. No mustiness on this one. This is nice. Yep, I get the old woodshop aromas. Nice oak bark, a little bit of earthiness. Really like the nose on this. Yeah, that's lovely. Very high flying. I feel like this might be the single barrel strength just because of its zippiness across the tongue. Really, really lovely. Love the way that shimmers across the tongue with this earthy butterscotch tone. Really, really love how this is doing in the mouth. I'm going to revisit this one. Let's go. Small sips for science, of course. Oh, yeah. Floral tones, cherry tones. Loving this pour. Good long linger. Feels good on the tongue. Long, long, long. That is just great bourbon right there. That's going to be a front runner for sure. I don't want to wash this flavor off my tongue. So do we just sit here and stare at each other for a while I enjoy this whiskey? I think we do. Let's reset. And our fifth and final glass, the Buckhead bourbon glass. Let's see what we got inside. Oh yeah, one of the better noses. Ooh, very like candy sweet. I get some Skittles, sweet tarts, juicy Starburst. Good oak integration. No flaws whatsoever. Let's have a sip of the Buckhead bourbon. Wow. Yeah, that is going to be one of the favorites as well. Goodness me. Really good fruit sweetness on this one. Cherry shimmers across the tongue. Raspberry, almost like a raspberry tart, like a Parisian. Nice little delicacy. Maybe like a crepe or a crepe, as they would say en français. Filled with like blueberries. This nice creme fraiche. Exquisite. Oh, yeah. Another sip doesn't fully hit like wow territory for me, but I'm definitely enjoying this pour. This is going to be fun to zip back down the line, see how they taste in reverse order, and maybe from there I'll be able to shake out a ranking order. Let's try. Sorry, had to pause for dancing there for a moment. Jumping back into the Bourbondipity glass, let's go. Okay, yeah, quite enjoyable on the Bourbondipity glass. I definitely get some lemon zest, some like lemon hard candy. The citrus tones are very strong with this one. Good little cardamom backbone. That's lovely. That's going to be a tough competition. They're different characters, Buckhead Bourbon and the Bourbondipity glass, but I do enjoy both thoroughly. Rocking back into the clear glass here. Ooh, okay, coming back. A lot more citrus characteristic, and maybe that's coming off of Bourbondipity and Bourbondipity's glass interacting a little bit with the clear glass. I am trying to clear my palate between, but maybe there's something to be said about comparative tastings and glasses interacting with each other. There may be some things at work here. It makes me like this better than I did originally. This is proving to be harder than I thought. Hydrate or die. One more time for the Pursuit Spirits glass. Let's go. Yeah, touch tannic on this one. I really like this the least in this comparative tasting. Hands down. Fairly certain the Pursuit Spirits glass is going to be my 5th place finisher, but let's try Amongst the Whiskey glass one more time after a palate reset. As promised, the Amongst the Whiskey glass. Try it one more time. Pretty good, but I think actually originally thought this was going to be a front runner. That may have just been the freshness of my palate. Now that I'm tasting it again, it's kind of in line with the Pursuit Spirits. I think I'd be comfortable putting that in 4th. It does have a little bit of vanilla characteristic, a little bit of cinnamon going on there. There's some things to like. There's like this creaminess on the mouthfeel that's enjoyable, but I'm getting kind of nitpicky. This is a top tier kind of blind flight, and I'm allowed to be nitpicky because that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing it so you don't have to. I am curious, are you capable of doing this kind of flight at home? Do you guys have all these bottles in your collection? Drop me a comment. Level set me here. What does your collection look like? Yeah, folks, definitely Pursuit Spirits glass is dead last. Might have to open another Gerolsteiner. Final visitation of the clear glass. Let's go. Yeah, good creaminess, good citrus characteristics. I like that a lot. It probably has a place near 3rd place. Yeah, somewhere near there. Final thoughts on Bourbondipity. This way, I actually think I like the clear glass better than Bourbondipity. Tasted backwards, they had an opposite amplification effect. I do like the almost like bubblegummy 2-ball screwball cherry thing that's happening here a lot. But I'm actually going to push Bourbondipity the 3rd at this point, and we will give the Buckhead bourbon glass one last try. Wow. Robust, well flavored, well integrated. This very handily puts the others to shame. I think the clear glass is my definite 2nd place, though Bourbondipity was probably close. But this final taste of the Buckhead bourbon glass definitely tells me that this is probably the best 4 roses on the table right now. So who's ready for a good old-fashioned reveal? In 5th place, the Bourbon Pursuit glass is the 2023. That is not surprising at all. That was my least favorite 4 Roses Limited that I remember tasting. I thought it was just a little bit too over oaked. And yeah, I think that doesn't surprise me at all. There's the proof of the blind. 2023 is in 5th place. And in 4th place, the Amongst the Whiskey glass was very enjoyable, but just couldn't hang with the rest of them. Yep, that's the 2022 there. Really great pour. Yeah, 2022 is solid, but 4th place in this blind flight. Leads us into 3rd place, the Bourbondipity glass. That is the 2021 Four Roses limited edition. I just reopened a bottle of this. The 2021 was not my favorite at the time. I think I actually preferred the 2022, so this is an interesting finding. But yeah, 3rd place is the 2021 release. Leads us into 2nd place, the clear glass. That is my OESQ single barrel strength pick. No surprise there. Let me show you this one, guys. This was a 9-year, 2-month OESQ pick that was just tremendous. I did this in collaboration with Liquor Junction. It is a FS13 run, tier 6. You can see I've done quite a bit of damage on that one. Really love doing these barrel picks. This is one that I hand selected with Mandy back in May. Just wonderful whiskey. And that means the Buckhead Bourbon Glass is the 2024. People are ranting and raving about the 2024 release, and it looks like the hype is real. This was my 1st place finisher in this blind flight. How do you like them apples? 2024 is your best Four Roses of the last 4 years. And I gotta say, I'm a little surprised by that. I thought that this one maybe wouldn't do as well in a comparative tasting because of its inherent balance, its inherent classiness. It's very well integrated and not super in your face. So I'm actually pretty surprised by this blind flight result. Let me know down in the comments, are you surprised by this result? I'm interested to hear. Let me your thoughts. That is going to be all for now, folks. This is your best Four Roses in the last 4 years. The 2024 limited edition was spectacular. Get you one of these if you can. If you can't, sorry. But that's all I have for you today. Until next time, my friends, keep it amongst the whiskey.